it's Melanie. Welcome to my channel. Today I have my May book haul for you, so stay tuned. So, not counting my book outlet haul or my BEA and BookCon haul that are still to come at some point, or may have already come. I don't know when this is posting. Anyway, other than those, I have accumulated 14 books in the month of May. So let me just get right into showing you those. So the first book that I have here is an ARC that was sent to me by Macmillan Publishers, and that is Things You Save in a Fire by Catherine Center. And this book comes out on August 13th of 2019. And this just says, Cassie Hanwell is a tough-as-nails firefighter who plays by the rules better than any man. But underneath her heroic exterior lies a deeper story, one of forgiveness, of strength, and of learning to love against all odds. Saving lives was easy, saving herself was another story. And, I mean, oh my goodness, isn't this cover just gorgeous? And I thought it sounded really interesting. It sounded like a good, sweet story, and it's not that terribly long. It's just barely over 300 pages, so I think this will be a fairly quick read. And I plan on reading this during the month of June. Next are books that I pre-ordered that came out in May. And this first one is another book that I would like to read in the month of June. It's my plan anyway. And that is Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston. I know that Chelsea over at Chelsea Darling Reads and her boyfriend Aldo both really enjoyed this. And well, everybody I've heard that has read this has loved it, and I'm really looking forward to reading it. There is a readathon or a read along going on for the month of June, and I know they're going to be having a live show at some point discussing this book, so I'd like to get this read before then. But this is about the son of the president and the Prince of England. They have this sort of battle going on. They're at odds, and well, it's not really good for the public, and so they're forced into this Instagram-worthy friendship, and they have to make it look good. Well, they end up feeling more than just friendship, and it turns into a romance, which can get a bit touchy when it comes to queer romance and politics. And I mean, this just sounded like such a cute story, and I am so here for it. So as a few of you may already know, my birthday was in the month of May, and while I was kind of browsing books for my birthday, I came across a book that was actually coming out during the month of May, and well, the title caught me because my birthday was coming up at the time, and that was Birthday by Meredith Russo. And this is a story about two boys who have been best friends for like ever, and one of them, he is like a football player and all of that, and the other doesn't really feel like a him. He feels like a she. And they feel like they're lying to everybody because this person that they all know and love and see every day is not who they really are, and they're afraid to come out to everybody and let them know. And I think this is the first trans book that I've ever gotten, and I'm really looking forward to reading it and maybe learning a little bit more. Okay, the next book is the last of my pre-order books. This one actually came out on my birthday, so it arrived at my door on my birthday, which was nice. And I'm so excited for this book, and it is Middlegame by Shannon McGuire. I absolutely loved the Wayward Children series, and I'm looking forward to more and more of those books. And this one I was really worried about because, for one, it's a much bigger book. It's a very different kind of story, and so I wasn't sure if I was going to like it as much. And then Kayla over at Books and Lala had an ARC of this and read it and just absolutely raved over it. So I was like, okay, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna love this. And let me just tell you what this says. Meet Roger. Skilled with words, languages come easily to him. He instinctively understands how the world works through the power of story. Meet Dodger, his twin. Numbers are her world, her obsession, her everything. All she understands, she does so through the power of math. Roger and Dodger aren't exactly human, though they don't realize it. They aren't exactly gods either. Not entirely. Not yet. Meet Reed, skilled in the alchemical arts like his progenitor before him. Reed created Dodger and her brother. He's not their father, not quite, but he has a plan. To raise the twins to the highest power, to ascend with them and claim their authority as his own. Godhood is attainable. Pray it isn't attained. And I mean, oh, that sounds so good. And I am so excited for this book. Okay, next up are books that we got in Owlcrate and Owlcrate Junior boxes. So I'm starting with the Owlcrate Junior. So we got Pippi Longstocking by Astrid Lindgren. And this is such a cute little edition. There is some art throughout, and I actually plan on reading this very soon. I don't know that I've ever read Pippi Longstocking. I know I've like watched movies, but I don't think I've ever actually read the book. And so this is going to be a quick read in a future readathon. And if I remember correctly, Pippi is a little red-headed girl with the braids that stick out, and well, I think she tends to get into a lot of mischief, but unintentional. And well, it's a cute little classic, and I look forward to reading this. Okay, next up is Graystone Secrets, The Strangers by Margaret Peterson Haddix. And I've heard really good things about this book. Oh, and inside, look at this. How cute is that? This says, "What makes you, you?" The Graystone kids thought they knew. Chess has always been the proctor of his younger siblings. Emma loves math, and Finn does what Finn does best, acting silly and being adored. They've been a happy family, just the three of them and their mom. That changes when reports of 3 kidnapped children reach the Graystone kids, and they're shocked by the startling similarities between themselves and these complete strangers. The other kids share their same first and middle names. They're the same ages. They even have identical birthdays. Before Chess, Emma, and Finn can question their mom about it, she takes off on a sudden work trip and leaves them in the care of Miss Morales and her daughter Natalie. But puzzling clues left behind lead to complex codes, hidden rooms, and a dangerous secret that will turn their world upside down. In this absorbing new series about family and friendships, New York Times bestselling author Margaret Peterson Haddix takes readers on a thrilling adventure. As twists of truth are revealed, it's clear Miss Graystone is in danger, and the kids must learn to embrace their identities, flaws and all, to save her. But how can they bring their mom home when they're not sure where home is anymore? And Asana is super cute. And if I remember correctly, there's actually like puzzles that have to be solved throughout. I'm not entirely sure. But it sounds super cute. And I think Xander and I are really going to enjoy reading this. Okay, next from Owlcrate Jr. was The Simple Art of Flying by Corey Leonardo. And this says, sometimes flying means keeping your feet on the ground. Born in a dismal room in a pet store, Alistair, the African gray parrot, dreams of escape to bluer skies. He'd like nothing more than to fly away to a palm tree with his beloved sister Aggie. But when Aggie is purchased by 12-year-old Fritz, and Alistair is adopted by elderly dance enthusiast and pie baker Albertina Plotke, the future looks ready to crash land. In between anxiously plucking his feathers, eating a few books, and finding his own poetic voice, Alistair plots his way to a family reunion. But soon he's forced to choose between the life he's always dreamed of and admitting the truth, that sometimes the bravest adventure is in letting go. And this is another story that, for one, I think is going to go pretty quickly, and also I think Xander and I will enjoy reading this. The font is rather large on this book too. Next from Owlcrate Jr. is The Lost Girl by Anne Ursu. And this says, when you're an identical twin, your story always starts with someone else. For Iris, that means her story starts with Lark. Iris has always been the grounded, capable, and rational one. Lark is inventive, dreamy, and brilliant. And from their first moments in the world together, they've never left each other's side. Everyone around them realized early on what the two sisters already knew. They had better outcomes when they were together. When 5th grade arrives, however, it is decided that Iris and Lark should be split into different classrooms, and something breaks in them both. Iris is no longer so confident. Lark retreats into herself as she deals with challenges at school. And at the same time, something strange is happening in the city around them. Things both great and small going missing without a trace. As Iris begins to understand that anything can be lost in the blink of an eye, she decides it's up to her to find a way to keep her sisters safe. Next from Owlcrate Jr. we have The Next Great Polly Fink. This is How You Become a Legend by Allie Benjamin. Or Ollie Benjamin. This says, who in the world is Polly Fink? When Caitlin Breen begins her disorienting new life at the rural Mitchell School, where the students take care of real-life goats and study long-dead philosophers, and where there are only 10 other students in the entire 7th grade, it seems like nobody can stop talking about some kid named Polly Fink. Depending on who you ask, Polly was either a hilarious class clown, a relentless troublemaker, a hapless klutz, or an evil genius. One thing's for sure though, the kid was totally legendary. Now he's disappeared, and Caitlin finds herself leading a reality show style competition to find the school's next great Polly Fink. With each challenge, Caitlin struggles to understand a person she never met, but it's what she discovers about herself that most surprises her. Told in multiple voices, interviews, and documents, this funny, thought-provoking novel from the best-selling author of The Thing About Jellyfish is a memorable exploration of what makes a hero and if anyone or anything is truly what it seems. Oh yeah, we got things like these little interviews here. Well, this sounds fun. Okay, this next book, I don't know if this was an extra book in an Owlcrate Jr. or an extra book in Owlcrate, but it's a graphic novel, and that is The Tea Dragon Society by Katie O'Neill. And this is a tiny little thing. I actually just recently, when I was at BEA or BookCon, I can't remember which one, I think it was BEA, I got the sequel for this, which is very exciting. And it's funny that the sequel is like twice as long as the original. But this says, from the author of the award-winning Princess Ever After comes The Tea Dragon Society, a charming fairy tale about Greta, an adventurous blacksmith apprentice, and the people she meets as she becomes entwined in the enchanting world of tea dragons. After discovering a lost tea dragon in the marketplace, Greta learns about the dying art form of tea dragon caretaking from the kind tea shop owners, High School and Eric. As she befriends them and their shy ward, Minette, Greta sees how the craft enriches their lives and eventually her own. And it is so cute. Like, the art in this is just so incredibly adorable. And I intend on reading this very, very soon. Sorry if my angle changed, but my battery died. Okay, on to the next book. So these I know all came from Owlcrate. So the first up is Four Dead Queens by Astrid Skolt. So shiny. Okay. This says, 17-year-old Carolee Corrington may seem harmless, but in fact, she's one of Quadara's most skilled thieves and a liar. Varen, on the other hand, is an honest, upstanding citizen of Quadara's most enlightened region, Ionia. Varen runs afoul of Carolee when she steals a package from him, putting his life in danger. When Varen attempts to retrieve the package, he and Carolee find themselves entangled in a conspiracy that leaves all 4 of Quadrara's queens dead. With no other choices and on the run from Carolee's former employer, the two decide to join forces, endeavoring to discover who has killed the queens and save their own lives in the process. When their reluctant partnership blooms into a tenuous romance, they must overcome their own dark secrets in hopes of a future together that seemed impossible just days before. But first, they have to stay alive and untangle the secrets behind the nation's 4 dead queens. An enthralling, fast-paced murder mystery where competing agendas collide with deadly consequences. 4 Dead Queens heralds the arrival of an exciting new YA talent. Next from Owlcrate was Crown of Feathers by Nikki Powell-Petro. And oh, so pretty. And this says, I had a sister once. In a world ruled by fierce warrior queens, a grand empire was built upon the backs of phoenix riders, legendary warriors who soared through the skies on wings of fire, until a war between 2 sisters ripped it all apart. I promised her the throne would not come between us. 16 years later, Veronica is a war orphan who dreams of becoming a phoenix rider like the heroes of old. After a shocking betrayal from her controlling sister, Veronica strikes out alone to find the riders, even if that means disguising herself as a boy to join their ranks. But it is a fact of life that one must kill or be killed, rule or be ruled. Just as Veronica finally realizes where she belongs, her sister turns up and reveals a tangled web of lies between them that will change everything. And meanwhile, the new empire has learned of the riders' return and intends to destroy them once and for all. Sometimes the title of queen is given, sometimes it must be taken. Crown of Feathers is an epic fantasy about love's incredible power to save or to destroy. Interspersed throughout the story of Valkyria Ashfire, the last rider queen, who would rather see her empire burn than have it fall into her sister's hands. And last from the regular Owlcrate boxes, we have Wicked Saints by Emily A. Duncan. And oh, this cover is just gorgeous. And so are these end pages. Oh. And without the cover. Oh, so pretty. I just love when they do that. This says, some stories are so beautiful, so brutal, that they claw at your heart and refuse to let go. Welcome to the world of Wicked Saints, an epic, passionate novel that you won't soon forget. Prepare to meet a girl named Nadia who hears the whispers of the gods inside her head. A prince surrounded by desperate suitors and deadly assassins. A monster, hidden behind pale, tortured eyes and a smile that cuts like a knife. The paths of these 3 characters become entwined during a centuries-long war filled with sinners and saints, magic and mystery, and a star-crossed romance that threatens to tip the scales between dark and light forever. And I just saw a quick blurb on the back. Well, there's several blurbs, but this one says, this book destroyed me and I adored it. And that was Stephanie Garber. And speaking of Stephanie Garber, my last book that I have here was a book that I got in a special edition Owlcrate box. And that was a Finale, which is the 3rd and final book in the Caraval series. And oh, I love it. So Caraval is a world based on a game of illusion. I think that's a good way to summarize it. So you have Tella and Scarlet, and they go to Caraval in hopes of getting a wish, and then it turns into something more. And it's also a place where you can't really trust anything you see or hear, because everything can be twisted. And oh, I really loved Caraval. Legendary was okay. Carval was awesome. And so I'm really looking forward to how a finale will go and how this whole story gets wrapped up. Okay, so those are all 14 books that I accumulated in the month of May, minus Book Outlet or BEAM BookCon. I need to be able to read like 100 books a month or something. Well, have you read any of these books? Do you like them? Do you not? Comment down below and let me know. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a big thumbs up. If you'd like to see more videos like this, click that subscribe button down below. And until next time, remember to always be completely you. Bye!